Folks, welcome back to the Wanneroo channel. We've got an awesome video for you today on a vehicle field expedient repair kit, how to make your own and give you some ideas for it, and that's going to be the whole point of the video here. And so what are we talking about when we talk about field expedient repair? Well, it's one of those things where if you drive long enough out there in the world, it is inevitable. Accidents are going to happen, flat tires are going to happen, mechanical breakdowns are going to happen, and things are just going to happen. And in the million miles plus that I have of driving on roads, both here in the United States and also all around the world, is that a lot of times it's the most unexpected things that you couldn't even have possibly even accounted for, the weirdest stuff that can happen. And if you're in a situation where, you do have that mechanical breakdown or flat tire or whatever, it's a thing of where, hey, in 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, if we can make a repair, get ourselves to someplace safe, get ourselves to, a mechanic shop, and just get ourselves somewhere else, perhaps in the side of the road, that's probably always going to be beneficial. Now, I do understand that things are going to happen too, where the vehicle could potentially go down hard, where you have, a much bigger accident, whatever, major mechanical breakdown. So this video is not about doing a transmission rebuild for 10 hours on the side of the road. That's not really realistic, not really what we're aiming for. So with this video, the whole idea is I want to show you guys the kit that I've come up with all the years of experience and knowledge I have, to put together a kit I carry in my vehicle to make those field expedient repairs if things happen. And funny enough, twice in the past year, I've had to use it also. And have used many other tools in the past. So all this knowledge and experience has kind of come together for this video. The other thing too is in the future, we are going to do some actual field expedient repairs and do some videos on that, so you can get some ideas on different things you can do in certain situations to effect a quick repair to a vehicle to get you someplace safe. Now, one other thing before we start on the video and go through the whole contents of the kit here. The other thing that we do need to keep in mind is we do have to kind of balance out size and weight constraints of our kit. So everyone's kit is probably going to vary, and it's all going to depend on how much you're willing to carry. In my case, I have come up with essentially like a duffel bag size bag, which is a 511 range bag. Everything that I carry fits in that bag, so I have everything self-contained in there. And that's what I've kind of decided the size and the weight that I also too that I want to keep to. So, for instance, I have a work colleague of mine. He has a big Ford truck, and he pretty much has everything in there, air compressors and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, he can rebuild an engine by the side of the road. But for me, driving a sports sedan, that's not really feasible or possible. So you do have to kind of think about, when you make your own kit, how much are you actually willing to carry? Do you want to carry, 10 pounds of stuff, 5 pounds of stuff, 50 pounds of stuff, 300 pounds of stuff? You got to make that decision for yourself. So let's get into the kit and have a look at what I actually have and the reasons for it, and then we'll conclude it at the end. Now, first thing we have to think about is what we're going to carry all this stuff in. Ideally, you want something that's easy to pick up and easy to maneuver around, but also that's durable. Myself, I'm a huge fan of 511 bags. This is one thing that I have kind of found. A lot of my bags now, they're just 511. They make really good, sturdy, quality bags, I find. This is their range bag. I actually have a few of these. I'll put a link to this down below. You can click on the link and purchase it through Amazon. Kicks back a little commission to the channel, keeps the channel moving. And with these bags, I find them super durable. And also, too, they're very well thought out in terms of all the different pockets and everything that they have and the way they're all set up. This I've found is to be ideal for packing a field expedient repair kit. Enough, but not too much, and enough of a size. We can put plenty of things in, but it's not excessive. Okay, folks, so we went ahead and opened up the central compartment there. We took everything out here. Let's go ahead and run through all this stuff real quick. So one thing I always have with me is some sort of heavy-duty zip ties. Smaller ones sometimes can be handy. They can help out with certain situations, but I find sometimes some of the more durable ones are better. You can also get some metal ones as well, but definitely some heavy-duty type zip ties. I've run into an issue before, got hit by a drunk driver. that collapsed my exhaust at the back. And the way I got home actually was to pretty much tie up the exhaust and hold it into place with some steel cable and steel zip ties and stuff. So in a lot of situations like that, these zip ties are going to come in handy. If you have loose wiring, a loose hose, different things, you know, these things can save the day. Next thing is some sort of battery pack here. Now, this one here, this is a smaller one. This probably, in most cases I have found whenever I've used it on different vehicles, it tends to be more of a trickle charger type situation where you have to connect it for a while before you can get the car to start. If I was to do it again, I'd probably get one of the bigger battery packs, and that's what I'll probably do next time, and relegate this for other uses, because it also has a USB port, so you can use it to, you know, charge your phone, different things like that. But I'd probably go with the bigger one. Now, the thing you do have to watch with these is that you have to also charge them up on occasion, because over time the electrical charge on them will start to fritter away and all that. So definitely have some sort of battery pack. Jumper cables, yep, that's good to have too, but being able to do it on your own and having the battery power to jump your own battery, I mean, you know, can't beat it. Next thing is we need something to be able to change our tire, especially if we have some extra leverage. So this one right here actually extends out, which helps to give you some extra leverage. So make sure you have a good quality tire iron that's going to get the job done, and also too that you have a connector that's actually going to fit as well. The other thing to watch for is a lot of these little plastic caps that they put over the lug nut as well. You need sometimes a little tool or some sort of needle nose pliers or something to be able to pull those off. So something like that comes in handy as well. Another thing that is key with a lot of cars out there is these wheel hangers. Now, what are these? These are a lifesaver in some cases. A lot of vehicles now, the lug nuts actually screw into the face of the hub, and you don't have like the basically the nut, not the lug nut, but the stud sticking out to where you can like put the tire on and the tire will stay in place. If you have a situation like that, these right here screw right into the hub, and then they pretty much sit like this, and you can also screw in another one too. Put the tire back on, and it'll actually hold the tire in place while you start the other lug nuts. Once you have the other lug nuts started, then you can just remove these and install the other lug nuts and tighten it all up, and you're good to go. But this will help hold your tire in place in case you do have one of those situations where the hub is basically flat and doesn't have the stud sticking out. Next thing is we have an ARB tire repair kit. Everyone should be able to repair their own tire. If you get a nail in the tire or some sort of cut or something like that, you can use this kit to try to effect repairs. I like ARB. They make a lot of off-road equipment and stuff. Generally, all the stuff that they have, I'm a big fan of. It works real well. They test everything, all that sort of stuff. But pretty much all the tools that you need to get things done. A little bit of grease here. We have our tool to put our rubber dog turd through the nail or whatever. We have pliers here to pull, you know, if it's a nail or something that's stuck in the tire. Pull it out. This right here smooths out the tire in terms of the hole. And you just kind of run that tool through a little bit and smooth that edge out, so it'll be easier to put your rubber dog turd in. And then also too, in the kit, if the valve stem fails or something like that, you have a tool here to clean out the valve stem and put a new valve stem on, or also a new valve on. So pretty much everything you need in this kit. Everyone out there should pretty much know how to repair a hole in their tire, because that's going to be one of the most common issues you're going to run into out there. Now, there's smaller kits that you can get, true, and sometimes they'll work, but I've actually seen those tools bend and break. That's why I like kind of more of a substantial tool here that's going to hold up to a bit of abuse. Now, folks, like I said, any of this stuff, if it's available on Amazon, I'll put a link to it down below. Just click on that and you can just purchase right through the link. One of the things is that in regards to flat tires and all that sort of stuff, is that if you do effect a tire repair, or even if you have a slow leak that you don't want to repair or whatever it might be, you have to have a way of putting air back in the tire. And pretty much having an air compressor is like a no-brainer to have in your vehicle. This one, I had an old Campbell one that lasted for 20 years or so. That ended up failing at some point. And recently I got this DeWalt, and I've used it a number of times, and so far I've been pretty happy with it. You can set the air pressure that you want with it and just let it do its thing. Also, it has the option, you can either plug it into your 110 outlet in your vehicle, your cigarette outlet, or you can use one of the DeWalt batteries to run it as well. If you don't want to do that, again, you just have to make sure you have a battery and have it all charged up. But that's an option, but always make sure you have some sort of air compressor or something that you can put air into those tires. Now, one lesson I learned is that if you're going to carry any sort of liquids or anything like that, make sure you seal them up in some sort of Ziploc bag, maybe even double bag them. And also watch out with different aerosols and stuff like that in terms of extreme heat or extreme cold. You do have to kind of watch and protect those things so they don't blow up, basically, you know, inside your bag or whatever. I just carry two things with me. You can vary it up and kind of in terms of what you think you might need or whatever. I do have some slime emergency repair, so that gives me another option if I have a flat tire. And then I just have some WD-40 gel lubricant for any sort of situations where I just need to spray some lube. Also too, sometimes it depends on the situation. Might be a good idea to carry extra washer fluid with you if you're operating in an off-road environment. Perhaps some extra engine oil. That might not be a bad idea. You know, just different things like that. You have to kind of think about, well, again, size and weight. How much do you really want to carry with you? What situation are you in? Stuff like that. But if you do have liquids and stuff, I would make sure that you double bag them or bag them up to some degree. So here, folks, this is a mechanic set from DeWalt. I like it because it has enough, but not almost too much, in a kind of a nice, convenient clamshell size. With a ratchet, an extension piece here, a screwdriver with a bunch of different bits, Phillips head screwdriver bits, Torx head bits, and all that. And then also a variety of imperial and metric sockets. Now, you can go a lot bigger with these kits, and you can kind of expand it out and get some mega big kits. But I think in terms of handling general field expedient repair situations, something like this is probably going to be good enough. But like I said, you can kind of decide on the size and weight in terms of what you want to carry. For me, I think this will solve most immediate problems that I have, so that is good enough. And I do have some spares here that I'll show you in a minute. Now let's start taking a look at some side pockets. Always like to have a couple microfiber towels with me, just for general cleanup and, you know, whatever, need to check your oil, check fluids, whatever. Having a couple of these is handy, as well as some of those Blue Shop towels a lot of times is nice. I always carry a roll of the Blue Shop towels in my vehicle. Also in here, got kind of a survival shovel. So having a little shovel is good, especially if you get stuck, that you can get under the vehicle and shovel some material out or whatever. So just having a little survival shovel here, you can cut trees with it, all sorts of stuff like that. So, you know, I just have it with me. It's there if I need it. Another thing is, a lot of times you're going to run into electrical issues with vehicles. So, you know, pretty much here I just have a complete fuses set for vehicles. All sorts of different fuses of all different types. That should cover me in just about any situation with my fuse panel. So, and then the other thing too is I carry some of this gas tank and radiator repair. So if for some reason I have a gas tank leak or a radiator leak, I have some sort of, you know, putty or something where I can try to effect a repair on it. Now, another thing I keep handy is some sort of inverter, where if I do need to run like a 110 or USB or something off of the car battery while the car is running or whatever, I can. You know, I don't know, you know, it kind of depends on what that situation might be. But if you've got to run electrical equipment, or, you know, you need to plug in a computer or whatever it might be, just having this handy, it's just there if I need it. I've rarely had to use it before, but it's there. Another thing I have in my side pockets is Gorilla Tape. So having some sort of really good 100-mile-an-hour tape is a big help. A lot of stuff where if you have Hoses that are leaking, you can attempt to use this to repair it. Things that are hanging down, you can attempt to use this to repair it. So having some sort of good roll of like this Gorilla Tape here, definitely worth having. Now we have our last compartment here, and one of the things that I have handy is some extra rubber dog turds in case I might need them. So I just have them handy. They're there if I want them. Now the other thing is I do have like some spare ratchets and sockets and different things in case I break something. This is kind of composed of like different mechanical kits I've had over the years, and I've kind of thrown it all together. I can probably go through and maybe consolidate some of that stuff. Also too, we've got Allen wrenches and different things like that. A file, more socket bits and stuff. Again, I can probably consolidate some, but it's there if I want it. And then some little wrenches and stuff. I find these handy for like batteries and different things like that. And just little tiny bits where if I need a wrench, you know, it's there. I should probably have a few bigger wrenches as well, so maybe I'll add that to the kit. Then another thing I have found incredibly useful with vehicles is long-handled needle nose pliers, and also some that have a little 90-degree angle on them. A lot of times getting your hands in different places on vehicles can be pretty tough, and you need to pull something tight or whatever. And having these little long-handed needle nose pliers, man, they come in handy. I've used them before. And then last but not least, we have a ratchet there. We also have a hose repair kit and all of that, and it looks like there is a little fire starter in there too. So that finishes it out for the bag. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Now, it's a little bit outside the scope of this video, but another thing that you might want to consider carrying with you also is vehicle recovery equipment. And so I won't go through this whole bag, but you can get this bag from ARB. They make a lot of really good off-road stuff. And inside you've got a recovery strap, you've got a tow strap, you have a tree saver, you have some shackles, you have a parachute for the line in case you do any winching or anything. And so having one of these is quite handy. You can also get some recovery boards, different things. So if you ever think you're going to be in a situation where you might need to recover your vehicle somehow, having a kit like this is handy. And what I like with ARB is they put it all pretty much contained in one bag, except for the recovery boards. You'd have to get those extra. And then also too, a soft shackle. So you can have some of this stuff on hand if need be. So that's just kind of an extra idea to think about.
So folks, in the end, hopefully you got some good ideas for different gear that you might want to carry to effect a field expedient repair. And ultimately, I'm never the be all end all of everything. So I'm just here to give folks ideas and you know, pass along my knowledge and experience. And in the end, you've got to make your own custom kit depending on what you think you need. And then also too, like I said, those size and weight constraints, that's going to be a factor as well. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Like I said before, any good comments and tips and tricks you all have, different ideas, put them down below in the comments. Always willing and interested to hear that stuff. And stay tuned. We have a ton of videos I am working on. Pretty much video production is a 7-day-a-week thing for me. And so we are always working on new videos, even if you don't see anything posted for a while. So stay tuned, folks, and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. That helps boost the channel. And also, too, support our Amazon links. Instead of all the profits going into Amazon's pockets, it just kicks back a small commission to the channel. And that helps us keep things going and making more videos. So appreciate those that do that. So we'll see y'all next time, and have fun out there.